Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server where we post multiple updates a day. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So today I want to zoom out and I wanted to look at this chart for a couple of seconds. Now, why is that? Well, because people right now are complaining about the fact that we are getting a correction, and when you zoom out, I mean, this correction only makes sense. We went up like 300% in November, and also the correction that we got does not really look like anything on the monthly chart, does it? I mean, it looks like a joke, and by the looks of it, we will start going up extremely soon. Of course, that's just my opinion. Now, let's also go on the 4-hour chart before I continue with the other charts. So as you can see, Cardano is currently getting a bounce. We tested the trend line on the chart multiple times, and yeah, right now we are getting a bounce. We'll see if we actually manage to hold this or not. We have tested the trend line 3 times already, so we should be good to go, but this could always fail, so you have to keep that in mind. Now, if you look at this, if this continues going up, this could turn into some kind of reverse head and shoulders pattern. I've already talked about this when we were down here. I did tell you that it's a possibility that it happens, and if we got a reverse head and shoulders pattern, there is a chance that we do something like this after that, and that would obviously be extremely bullish. Now keep in mind, the next target would be at about $1.30. That's the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup on the chart. And that's only for the third wave of this 1-2 setup. Then of course we will do a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up, and that will complete the first wave of the third wave right here, which will be the third wave of a very big 1-2 setup that we have on the chart. Well, actually no, this is the third wave of the third wave right here. This third wave right here has a 1-2 setup, and yeah, right now we only have a 1-2 setup of the main third wave on the chart, which means that the third wave of the third wave will happen very soon, and I'm expecting that to be the most bullish wave of the cycle. And also this makes sense considering the fact that Bitcoin dominance will most likely start going down extremely soon. Now, I don't know how soon. Like I said, it was supposed to go down yesterday. It has been about 48 days since the cross on the bull market support band, but it has not started going down, at least not yet. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Keep in mind, we might just go sideways until the next president gets put into the office, because, you know, the market does not really know what's going on right now, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, which means that Bitcoin dominance and the other charts will most likely continue to go sideways until the president gets put into the office. But then again, keep in mind, we cannot seem to be able to get above the bull market support band, so of course at some point we will have to get rejected. I mean, it's only a matter of time until we do that, and if you look at the daily chart, I mean, it looks like we will get rejected. The RSI is not overbought, but we don't really need to be overbought on the RSI to get rejected when we are at the bull market support band. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Not much to say about Bitcoin dominance, to be honest. I mean, nothing has really changed. I've been talking about this chart for a very long time now. I've been talking about it since we were at about 56% right here, and I did tell you that we will most likely top around the 0.618 extension of the previous all-time high, just like we did in the previous cycle, and we did exactly that. We went up to 60% and then we got rejected by the 0.618 extension, and then we went down right here. And if you can believe it, when we went down like 6% over here, that's when the president was actually elected. So that's why I believe Bitcoin dominance will start going down once the president gets put into the office. But you know, it would be cool if it started going down right now, because it has been exactly 48 days since the cross on the bull market support band. Well, actually I believe it has been about 50 days since the cross. And in the previous 2 cycles, after we had a cross on the bull market support band, it took about 48 days for something to happen. And yeah, we'll see if that happens again or not. Well, obviously it has not happened yet, but Bitcoin dominance could start going down right now, and I think it's only a matter of time until it does. Now, why do I think that? Well, for that, I want you to look at the Ethereum chart. And why the Ethereum chart? Well, because whatever Ethereum does, the altcoin market will follow. And for this, let me show you the Ethereum monthly returns chart, which is this right here. And as you can see, right now Ethereum is down about 2.5% in January, but I don't think this is going to last. I think Ethereum will get a huge bounce by the end of January, and I think we should be up at least like 30% on the monthly chart by the end of the month, because in the previous cycle, for example in 2021, Ethereum went up about 78% in January, and in 2017 the exact same thing happened. We went up in the post-halving year. And yeah, as you can see right here, I mean, we went up quite a lot, so I think we'll just copy what we did there. And also, if you look at what happened in the previous cycle, exactly 4 years ago, Ethereum had a correction, and I believe it was somewhere up here. So yeah, this is where Ethereum had a correction. This was a pretty big drop. I believe Ethereum dropped about 30%, and as you can see, it took some time to recover, but by the end of the month, Ethereum started going up, and it went up about 78%. The whole month, which is quite a lot. And yeah, I think it's possible we do the exact same thing again. And what you know, during this time, Bitcoin dominance was also near cycle highs and it was starting to go down. So yeah, this is not really a coincidence. I think it's very likely that we do this again. However, if we don't, then I don't know what is happening. I mean, if Ethereum does not go up in a post-halving year, then maybe we are doing something else in the cycle, but I don't want to believe that right now. I see no reason to believe that, at least not yet. And I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance, like I said, to start dropping very, very soon. And once that happens, Cardano will finally start going up again. However, keep in mind, Cardano was at like $1, and like 2 months ago it was at about 30 cents, so it's already up like 3x, so you cannot expect it to go up like 50x in a matter of a month. Of course, these things, they take time, and for example here in the previous cycle, Cardano did not go up in a straight line. As you can see here, I mean here of course it went up in a straight line, but this was the third wave of the third wave. However, before that, we did not go up in a straight line. It took time to go up, so you cannot expect Cardano to just get a crazy wick to the upside and never stop going to the upside. That's not how it works. Well, that's how it works in a third wave of the third wave, which we're about to get very, very soon. So yeah, once we started, it will most likely not stop until it's done, but right now we are not in the third wave of the third wave. And, you know, to be able to confirm that the third wave has started, I have already told you this multiple times, but we need to get 5 waves to the upside, and right now we only have a 1-2 setup on the chart. I have already talked about this, but yeah, also keep in mind, there is a chance that this turns into a much bigger ABC structure, and I would not really like to see that right now. It would not make sense from a 4-year cycle point of view, but you never know. I mean, this cycle is obviously extremely dubious because, yes, things are repeating. For example, the Bitcoin dominance chart looks like it's about to do the exact same thing it did in the previous cycle. However, there are some things that are different. For example, Bitcoin, if you look at the Bitcoin monthly returns chart, Bitcoin closed a red wick in December, and this was a halving year. And why is this weird? Because in 2020, Bitcoin went up like 47% in December. This was also a halving year. And in 2016, it also went up in December. So the fact that we went down in this cycle in the halving year in December, it's a bit weird, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm still expecting 2025 to be a very good year for Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin will top by November of 2025, maybe even earlier, because I think in this cycle we had a halving like 2 months earlier than what we did in the previous cycle. So there is a possibility that Bitcoin tops around September rather than November. And if that happens, I mean, if we can remember what happened in the previous cycle, Cardano actually topped like 2 months before Bitcoin. I believe Cardano topped in August, well, in September, and Bitcoin topped in November. So if Bitcoin tops in September this year, there is a chance that Cardano just tops in July. Now, of course, that would not make sense considering the fact that crypto does not really go up a lot during the summer, but someone pointed out in the comments that in the previous cycle, Bitcoin actually went up in July and August, and I mean that makes sense, but keep in mind, during this time, the altcoins were actually suffering quite a lot, so even though Bitcoin went up, that does not mean that the altcoins went up with it. Now, in 2017, that also happened. So we'll see if that happens again or not. Keep in mind, whenever this happens, the altcoin market tends to take a hit. So yeah, we'll see what happens in this cycle. there's still like a year left of the cycle, so I think we're good so far. Cardano was at about $1. Exactly 4 years ago, Cardano was at about 37 cents, so you have nothing to worry about. You are still early. I mean, not really that early anymore, because keep in mind, people who bought down here are obviously way earlier than you. I mean, if you bought the top right here and you are now waiting for some kind of pump just because you bought the pump, I mean, that's on you, that's not on everybody else. You bought the pump. I did tell you multiple times that you need to buy down here. And of course, that was not financial advice, but it would have been a good financial advice if it was financial advice. So, also keep in mind the daily RSI has cooled off and we are currently above the moving average, which is a good sign. And we are still in an uptrend. Like I said, the trend line reacted to the price multiple times, and I think it's only a matter of time until we start breaking out of it. And once that happens, I don't think it's going to stop for some time, because Bitcoin dominance will most likely start dropping. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our Discord server where we post multiple updates a day. Like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.